Secure your tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas. Settle down snugly at mile marker 420 and enjoy the Four Corners. We're actually right now still in muggy and hot Phoenix, basically at the base of South Mountain. But it's been lovely. We've been getting a lot of rain. It's just causing a ton of humidity. It is Sunday, July 25th, Monday, July 26th for those of you across the pond and beyond. Welcome to We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. I'm so glad you guys could join us this evening. I'm your host, TessaTNT, and I hope you guys have had an awesome weekend so far and that you're keeping cool and staying safe. If you're listening live right now, you're listening on Spreaker.com. You can also find us at KPNL Radio, which you can find at kpnl-db.com, as well as Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, iHeartRadio, CastBox, Tumblr, YouTube, SoundCloud, TuneIn Radio, Deezer, Podcast Addict, as well as Podcast Chaser. So I have a treat for all my guys and gals out there. Tonight we have Mr. Bill Hauser, aka Can Dewey, who is an independent paranormal researcher and investigator. He was born in Vancouver, BC, Canada, and lives in the West Coast, particularly in the city of Surrey, BC, a well-rounded investigator and researcher using different types of equipment on paranormal investigations in different locations. Paranormal activities are things that he is so passionate to do, and he has dedicated and committed himself to ghost hunting for over 20 years now. Yes, he has had his own personal paranormal experiences, but fearfulness didn't stop him yet. It was his key to widen his horizons, discover new things, quest to find real answers, and help others deal with paranormal concerns. Digital night vision and full-spectrum video cameras are products of modern technology that makes paranormal investigation and research easier for him. At present, he is focusing his research of paranormal phenomenon, asking questions to spirits using the following devices: EVPs, which are electronic voice phenomena with digital recorder and special featured programs; Spirit Box, Ghost Box, and known as Frank Box are samples of controversial electronic devices. This electronic device called ITC, which is Instrumental Transcommunication, is a device used for two-way real-time spirit communications, which gives great results upon asking questions. For the record, all of his YouTube videos that he has done and posted are filmed in RAW with no alterations. He did networking with other paranormal organizations on current paranormal issues and has been invited to numerous radio programs to share information about different techniques on how you should do proper ethics of research in this type of field. And then by Bill Hauser's request, we also have Psychic Chris Garcia on the show tonight, and he is a psychic medium, empath, clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, who also has the ability to see auras and has experience with remote viewing. He has had these God-given gifts since the young age of 5. Chris loves helping people and sensitive children with their gifts as well. He is a tarot card reader and a ghost hunting and paranormal enthusiast. And he is also a shaman healer and very into his native heritage. Welcome, Bill, and welcome, Chris. Thanks so much for being on the show tonight.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, it's great. I'd just like to say hello to everybody out there. And yeah, it's a wonderful summer night here, 27 Celsius, a little warm, but that's okay.
Yeah, so I just want to say hi, everybody, and I'm happy to be on. And it's just been like I said before the show, it's been just crazy for me. I am still having paranormal experiences with one is the Facebook. I don't think I told you about the bed thing, Tess, but I've been having weird stuff with the bed too, but we ain't going to go over there. But there's been just strange stuff going on with me. I'm surprised with just the Facebook. I think that is, I want to say it's a blessing in disguise. Like, I feel there's a reason why I was able to get into it. Everybody tells me that it's a blessing, that there's got to be a reason that the universe gave it to me, because I wasn't able to get into the damn Facebook for about a year, and now I can respond to everybody, but that's just my other Facebook. But I will have certain people on there. I'm not adding everybody on that one, but I'm happy to have that Facebook back in. my presence. So yeah. Other than that, I've been pretty good, and we've been getting a lot of rain. Maybe I need to send y'all some guys some rain because we've been getting a lot of rain out here. So yeah.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of rain here, and the ground, I don't know, it's so dry and sandy and everything that it just pulls up on the surface of the ground. And my mom's actually growing moss in her backyard for, I think, the first time in a long time. Because it
Oh
goes from
wow.
being cool water to, basically being bath temperature or whatever water. But yeah, they've been getting a lot of rain. That's why it's so muggy here, so humid, is because it rains and then it'll warm up again and it just has, causes all that humidity in the air.
Wow. So how has it been over there since you've been in Phoenix? I mean, how is it? Is it nice? How is it though, Tess?
Uh,
Everything going up there?
yeah, the last 3 or so days it's been under 80 degrees. Otherwise, it's been over 100 basically. But we did go up to Nutrioso to spread my grandpa's ashes and stuff. And when we got there, it was about 72 degrees or something like that. So it was really nice up there.
Oh wow. Well, that's good. And Bill, how have you been?
Oh, I've been good. I've done a little bit of traveling over to Vancouver Island and had a great time over there as well and visit with my client and helped her out. So, yeah, we saw some UFOs and had some interesting stuff come through the ghost box and so on. So it's been very interesting, shall I say. And then right here in British Columbia, we've had a lot of forest fire problems. So central, like the Okanagan and Caribou, and that's just like one big campfire right now. So it's very dry up there. All the timber is all just so parched. Ready to explode, shall we say? So, yeah, it's we lost one town too, and Lytton there, unfortunately, due to a forest fire, so it just wiped it out. So,
Wow.
Wow.
yeah, it's been intense. But down here on the coast where I am, it's been good. We haven't had it very little. Well, we've had some smoke, but not like in times past. But so far, the weather's been pushing it away from us. But that could change, and we could end up with lots of smoke. I know Toronto has a lot of smoke problems from their forest fires in cottage country and so on, and northern Ontario. So, yeah, it's that's part of being in the summer now, is all these forest fires, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you know that's funny you said that because to me, when I look at everything, I say that I want to say that we're close to, the end of time. People don't see the signs that God is here. He's always been here, and the signs are very clear because I think it was in, I don't remember. I know it was in a different country, but they got a lot of rain, and I can't remember what country it was, but there was a lot of rain. There's a lot of fires in Oregon. There's a lot of fires in California. So I just feel like psychically there's a lot of, I think part of the western states are going to be under fire, and then some of them are going to be underwater, just like the day, after tomorrow movie. I feel like we're hitting that zone where the veil of the sun is very thin. It's just it's scary when you really think about dealing with this COVID and then dealing with the weather patterns, and it's just very strange how I just see that we're getting very, very close to the end of time. That's my opinion. It's just I see it very clearly because of getting messages every day. So I don't take anything lightly, and just all I gotta say is please enjoy your life because you never know what tomorrow has for you and what tomorrow holds. And just thank God that every day you wake up another day and to say it's a blessing. That's how I look at it, and I thank God every day when I wake up, and that I wake up fine, and that we protected from COVID, and yeah. So that's how I do it. So I don't know about y'all guys, but I'm grateful every day when I can help people and just wake up another day.
Indeed. Have either one of you guys gotten your COVID vaccination?
No, ma'am, I haven't.
Me neither. What about you, Bill?
What about you?
I decline to talk about that. That's a personal matter.
For
That's
sure.
how I treat COVID-19 vaccinations. Because
Right.
here we've actually had some really nasty arguments with people that have not been vaccinated, and people have asked them, and they've just went ballistic. So
Oh
I
no.
think I think the thing is respect each other's privacy right now, and just leave it at that. So that's the way I want to keep it. I don't
Yeah.
want people upset. Whatever. That's their business if they get a shot, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Very
Yeah,
nice. That's how it is in the
yeah,
for the House and Senate, and Democrats and Republicans and such that are in office right now. People are asking that question, and a lot of people are basically saying the same as you, like, this is personal information. I'm not willing to share it, and so on and so forth. But yeah, some people really do freak out about it. I just find it funny that this new strain, the Delta variant or whatever, they're trying to blame on people that haven't been vaccinated when in fact it came from somewhere else. But supposedly the people that are really suffering or are passing away from it have not been vaccinated. But then I hear stories that people who have been vaccinated are still getting it. Some people still pass away from it. But they're saying now if you do have the vaccination and you end up getting sick, like, a lot of times you don't even have to go to the hospital because the side effects or whatnot are not as bad as um, had you not gotten it, supposedly. But I don't know, it's crazy. The numbers are really going back up again.
yeah. And you know what I was gonna say too? And I know that I always thank Bill for making me a part of his show. But like I've always said, I always feel like I'm an assistant to Tessa. So anyway, so if y'all want to go ahead and get a spirit box reading, you can call her at the 970-335-9596. Again, 970-335-9596.
Indeed. Well, Bill always sends me a bunch of interesting stuff on Messenger on Facebook, and COVID isn't the only thing to worry about right now, I guess. China reported a human death from the rare monkey bee virus, and I guess it was a Chinese man, and this was printed or written in Toronto, but a Chinese man died after he contracted it, and I guess he had done surgery on two different monkeys that had passed away and then ended up getting some nausea and vomiting, followed by fever and neurological symptoms. And then he ended up passing away on May 27th. And they ended up sending his blood to the China CDC where it was tested and whatnot. And it turns out it's called the monkey bee virus, which is also known as B virus or herpes B virus. Two of the man's close contacts, a 47-year-old doctor and a 25-year-old nurse, tested negative for the virus. So I wonder what he may have done differently than them or whatnot to end up getting infected. It's pretty scary how these things are jumping from primates to humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we don't really know exactly all what's happening. I mean, behind the scenes with a lot of this, how this man was infected and everything. But in some cases, I believe that it's the hand of man through labs, and
Mm-hmm.
I tend to think that on some cases, with some, especially COVID-19, the labs were definitely a prime suspect in my eyes in China. And also, Canada's involvement and the United States and a few other nations behind it. So that's the thing. I mean, they're not fully telling us everything. And that's one thing I'd like at least to convey out there, what we got right now, and where we're going in the next 4 or 5 years could be very interesting, but at the same time, a little scary. So,
Yeah.
all these pathogens are just going all over the place. And, the thing is once you start playing with Mother Nature and all its pathogens and bacterias and viruses, I mean, if you're weaponizing, something could happen in the lab and it gets out to the general public, and next it spreads around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened in this case as far as COVID goes. Two people that worked there ended up getting it, and then sharing with the world. How nice of them.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is we don't know for sure if that happened, but at the same time, it's very suspected, very suspect. So I would like to think that our authorities, health authorities, aren't really telling us the whole story here. Instead, they're just trying to minimize certain aspects of it and mitigate certain elements. So that's the thing, right?
Yeah,
It's good.
go
It's
ahead, Chris.
scary, and I see it as is that it really is scary, with everything that's going on. I mean, there's just the COVID and then the weather, and then another thing that it's ridiculous. They said, and the fires. A lot of people, they caught this guy. He arrested him because he started forest fires. So I do
Oh,
believe that the
jeez.
fires, yeah, they arrested him. Yeah, they arrested him, and a lot of people don't realize that some of these fires could be because of the sun. But I'm being told that some of these fires are being caused by people that just want to be an ass and just burn this damn earth and have no common sense and just have,
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah, exactly.
envy is,
Hmm.
yeah. And then on top of that, they're saying that in Chicago there was a lot of shootings. A lot of people in different states are trying to stop what is causing all this stuff. And I want to say to that, I feel that that's a whole nother subject, because I do feel that with this free law that you can carry a gun without a damn license, I just want to tell you, to the people that did that shit, you are insane, because you're the reason why that these people are dying, because we don't have a damn license to carry one. So basically, if I want to carry one, I can carry one. If Tessa wants to carry one, she can carry one, and Bill can carry one, and it goes on and on. And to
Well, I
me,
don't know about that, Chris. We do have very strict gun laws here in Canada, so I'd like to at least let you know about that. So I could probably do that illegally, but not illegally.
yeah,
Bill's
I know,
packing.
but
Yeah,
I know, but it's
it's a little
sad
different
though.
here in Canada with what we do here with gun control. So,
I think the only ones that should have it is law enforcement, but I think it's gone past that, dude. It's gone past law enforcement now. It's kind of like, I don't know. I just kind of disappointment for me, because I'm like, we're all just, yeah. If it's not one thing, it's another thing, and it's sad, Tess, because I know how when I told you the story about the fire, it's sad. Like, why do people do that? Why? So I don't know,
It's a
but
crazy
yeah,
world.
yeah, it's hard to understand why some people would set a fire that's so devastating in hot weather like that. But the thing is if it's caused by nature, it's another story, or by an accident, yeah. But if it's deliberately, yeah, it's hard to accept the whole fact that the fire tore through town or wherever it may be, people's homes, and upset their lives in a very big way.
man, you know what's kind of quiet? Hopefully we get some good calls, because I know that the last couple of shows we had, it was really, really interesting. For some kind of reason, I don't know what it is with me, but I feel it's very quiet right now. I'm surprised we're not even getting calls, but hopefully we don't have that issue. Because I remember the last time test that they were trying to get through, uh, they said that they couldn't even get through. So if somebody wants to call just to test it out to see if maybe, because everything should be working, but just call us and let us know that, if you can get through or something. So
Yeah, for sure. And generally, with this show, we'll warm up with some different stories going on around the world and whatnot, and then, generally during the second and third hour, we'll get into the ghost box and stuff. But hopefully, like you said, hopefully everything is working, everything's up to par. It seems like everything tonight so far is sounding and working a lot better than it was last night. We had some tech issues going on. I had to tell our guest about the Garcia effect.
Oh my God! What did you tell them? What did you tell them, Tessa? Go ahead,
Well,
tell me.
she was telling me, maybe it's not even the computer or whatever, maybe it's just our energies and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, I have this psychic on named Chris Garcia, and stuff always seems to go really weird and crazy, and so it's been termed the Garcia effect.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. You think that's funny? I was doing a show, and it was on video, and I think you were in the chat too, Tess. But we were talking because it was a friend of mine that he's brand new with the StreamYard stuff, and we were just talking, and I started talking about Alien, and I kid you not, it kicked him out of his own, and I'm thinking, okay,
Oh
now this is kind of
wow.
weird. Yeah, it kicked him out, and right when I said that, he's like, okay, Spirit's telling us not to talk about that because that's a very sensitive subject. So, and then it was funny that you say the Chris effect because everybody that lately has made a joke of it and say that I should get a T-shirt that says "I've been touched by the Chris effect."
By the Garcia effect.
The Garcia effect.
So I don't know about that, Jess. Hopefully it's not the Bill effect because if we have the Bill effect, then I don't know anything about the Bill effect.
Well, speaking of aliens and whatnot, we have one that just called in. I'm just kidding. We got Mr. Mighty
I
Man,
got in
Christopher Wayne
real
Fisher.
good. We got an alien on the call.
It's working. No, but speaking
Yeah.
of aliens and such, Bill, you said you guys saw a UFO, and shortly before I came up here, I got some really good video of two UFOs, and then one blinked out and disappeared, didn't come back, and the other one blinked out for a moment after a military jet had flown by it, and then it came
Oh
back.
wow.
But they keep
Yeah.
taking the same route. They keep going like towards and over the airport. But I was just wondering, what did your UFO look like?
Basically, sort of a roundish look.
Mm-hmm.
It again had the silvery color, and then the other one I saw was actually close to where I lived there. That was just a week before going over to the island, Vancouver Island. That had a kind of a reddish and orange tinge, but then when I snapped a photo at it, it looked a lot different by the camera's eye. So, but yeah, that one was actually quite low. It appeared very low. So, and after it took off, well, basically all the coyotes nearby, they went all crazy. That
Oh
was the
wow.
interesting part. Yeah. Yeah, we have our urban wildlife here, so there's coyotes, in the general area, so they all kind of, as far as I'm concerned, they picked up on the energy of it and reacted by howling, so.
That's interesting.
That's
Yeah, the
very
kids had noticed
interesting.
this one, and it was exactly the same one, like not same one, but same type that I'd seen a week or so before that when I was working in the hemp fields pulling weeds and stuff, and we were having a beer after work, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here, 'cause like I never noticed this stuff, but I'm always looking up at the sky for the most part." So I saw it and pointed it out. That video, you can't really even see anything in that one, but the next ones that I got a week or so after that were pretty good. But I'll share a picture in here in the chat room with you guys real quick so you could see it. But like you said, it was like a roundish shape, and it was pretty bright. I think because the sun was setting, it just had like a glow to it. But it was pretty low, and we're trying to figure it out. Like, is this maybe a weather balloon, or like what could this be? And then we saw the second one, and it's like, no way are they flying that close together, and they generally be higher up too. But when that military jet flew by it, like that just totally, I don't know, just made it real for me, because you never see those flying in that airspace.
You know what that tells you, Tess, and everybody can say that I think that they know where the hot spots are, and they're like not even. You know what's crazy is I feel like they're around when that activity starts. So when you see one, right after a few minutes that the military responds, that just gives you clarification that this is real. And it's crazy too, because not just I've seen on different shows, but there's been stories where they talk about the same thing too with Bigfoot, And that's funny that's a whole nother subject, but usually when they're getting evidence, like the people that are looking for Bigfoot evidence, they see a plane fly by. And so that's just kind of just validating that they're aware that, that they're out there, with aliens, Bigfoot, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, those are the ones that I saw both on Vancouver Island and also around my place there just before leaving, and I saw one after when I got back. So
Very nice. Yeah, if you look in the Skype conversation we have here, that's where I sent the two close-up, like, frozen shots that I got on the video, and then I have 3 videos, but the middle one is the one where you see the military jet and everything fly in, but it's pretty awesome. I'm super excited about it, and I tell people about it, and they're just like, well, that's cool. No, like, I don't know. The kids spotted it, we got it on video, and it's so nice that, basically we have a camera on us at all times these days, because we all generally have a camera on our phone, so I don't know, it's just pretty handy.
yeah, it definitely helps. And, I mean, that's the thing. If you can snap a photo or a little video clip, it adds to your story of seeing something.
Wow,
Can you guys see the ones that I sent?
Yeah, I see the one. It looks tiny, but I know it's something that you can tell it's not of this.
Yeah, some of them I did a close-up so you can actually see it, but yeah.
I can't see that one. Tess, did you put those up? Because I'm looking at it through the other phone. I'm not seeing that one.
Hold on, let me look.
Hold on, maybe I'm not looking right. Hold on. I see yours, but not his. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, he sent his in Messenger, I think.
Oh, that's why. Okay. So then that explains it. I was thinking, am I going nuts or what? I can't see the other one. Bill, you probably have to send it to me. I want to see what it looks like if you can. If you can, it's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the second picture right here, you see the UFO, and then up in the clouds there in the right-hand corner is where the military jet is. And in this video, you could see the whole interaction thing going on. But yeah, it was pretty crazy, and especially when it blinked out and came back, and it didn't go behind clouds or anything. It was just pretty awesome, pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
This is mind-blowing, too, what's going on with my computer. Normally, Skype makes it stutter.
Well, that's good. It sounds like it's doing good.
This is the best Skype call I've had in a year or two.
Very nice.
Oh. Wow.
This is a good sign.
Oh, wow. That is very cool, Bill. I like that.
Yeah, those are, just the ones that I basically were able to catch on photos, so.
Wow.
Yeah, some of them I've seen that they're farther apart, but you can still tell that it's not not a plane. You can tell.
Some of them I did a close-up a little bit so you could see it a little bit more in detail, but without causing a lot of distortion to the photo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I bet you're really interested because you're in a disaster area, Bill. All the West Coast is engulfed in fires.
Yeah, that's true, but that's more in the Okanagan and interior, and then up in the Caribou area. So out on the West Coast, it's not too bad in the way of fires. Definitely, we don't have all the smoke yet, so hopefully we don't, but you never know.
Oh, you guys all the way down in California are a mess.
Washington State, Oregon, California, they're all having wildfire and forest fire issues. So, yeah, the whole Pacific Northwest is having big problems. So
that's insane. Yeah, we were just talking about that, and it just tells you that there's a lot of issues out there, and it's just bad. And when I was telling you about that flood in that different country, I think it was.
Wasn't it China or?
Yeah.
Also in Europe too.
Yeah, Germany had some problems with flooding there. I think caused by a
Yeah.
dam, if I'm correct. So it
Too much
caused.
rain in Europe. They've been having a drought for like several years now. Now this year it's too much.
Yeah, it's one extreme to the other.
Yeah, but it's that don't get the kind of weather not used to it. Like for us, when we got that 9 degrees of snow, that was very uncommon for Texas because the last snow that we had was in '85, and I was probably like, I guess like 6, 7, 8 years old. So for it to be 9 degrees, that's never in Texas. That could be like New York, New Jersey weather, up in the East Coast, but for us to be having that and then power outages, the weather patterns are just very, very strange if you really sit there and think about it. Because, like up there where they were showing the weather up there in Las Vegas, Phoenix, they were all in red, and I'm thinking to myself, shit, I don't want to be all in red. I want us to keep it to where we can get a little bit of rain to just keep the atmosphere, moist. Because, I mean, if that is the case, the sun is causing fire, then that means the sun is coming closer to the earth. And if that happens, if it comes and lands to the earth, that we're in for a big explosion because, so that's the last thing we need. And yeah, that's kind of scary when you really think about it. That's very scary.
Well, and the meteorologists and such are saying it's not going to get any better anytime soon. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse every year because global warming does exist. And so, yeah, it's not supposed to be getting any better anytime soon.
And the scary part is, Chris, your state's state-run power monopoly within hours of totally crashing.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, Bill, I know that this is a very sensitive subject because the last me and you and Tessa were talking about this. What do you think about the rumors about Trump coming in office in August? There's been a lot of rumors about that. What is that? What is your input on that?
Well, I'm hearing a really bad noise there.
Wow.
Okay. About Donald Trump coming back in office. Yeah, I've heard some talk, but I really don't see that happening right now. I think that's just a bunch of rumor mill type stuff being, the thing is the internet just loves rumors. So.
Well, yeah, I was just asking because I know that you're very good with that stuff. So I thought maybe you would know more than I would.
Well, not any more than anybody else, but I mean, it's what I kind of feel that it's just a bunch of rumors being swirled around. It sounds good, I guess. Can be, very talkative aspects, but right now I don't see that actually happening. So,
I know.
In fact, he's under investigation now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
They're not going to let him do it.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to hold public office like that with those kinds of allegations being.
When you have a record, you can't run.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting because it was weird. Because I remember the last time that we did a session on that, it was very interesting what the spirit box had to say. I'm just like, that's just insane. I was like, yeah, they know on the other side when
maybe his followers might do something, but I mean, you just don't know right now. I mean,
that is what
a lot of tensions going on.
Been the scuttlebutt, them trying to start some crap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But other than that, it's been I've been hearing a lot of shit, and I'm thinking it's bad because I think that what's crazy too is that the only state that's not in red due to all this, vaccine and stuff. I think Nebraska, they were the only ones that were not highlighted. I think it was like maybe about 4 days ago when they said that all the states except Nebraska is in red due to new cases. And I'm thinking to myself, that's just one damn state. So
we're starting to spike here too.
Yes, and it's bad because over here we are required that we don't have to wear a mask. And my mom said that the day that they made that mistake about lowering those masks, that's when they made the mistake. And then number two, the kids are going back to school. Anyone that's below 11 or 12 cannot get the vaccine because they're not eligible. So that's kind of scary for the kids, because I pray for all kids, even Tessa's kids, my cousins, because the ones that are not, that they have to get it because they got to go to school. I mean, that is scary. That really is, yeah, that's a very scary subject. That's why I just pray every night that, when the kids go back to school, thank God I don't go to school, but yeah, it's scary. It really is. And
it's because the kids wanted to go back as bad as the parents.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they don't want to be at home. They say, I see your face every day. I don't want to see your face, and you're just looking at them like.
They're no different than adults. They get sick of being cooped up like we do.
Yeah, exactly. So, and speaking of kids, Tess, how are your kids doing? Are the kids okay?
Yeah, they're doing good. I signed them up for school this year because they basically forced me. Like they said, if you don't sign your kids up for school, you won't be able to sign them up once school starts, which is BS. It's public school. You can sign your kids up. Like, our taxes pay for these schools. But so I signed them up. The kids, even Nova, it's going to be her senior year, and she really wants to do her last year in person in school, and poor Floyd and Lily missed out on birthday parties and making friends and having a social environment there with other kids. Like you said, they're tired of being stuck at home too. They want to get out and go to real school, but we'll see, because the numbers going back up the way they are and everything. I don't know what to do.
They said that's with the adults too, and work. The adults are getting sick of being stuck at home.
I don't know. My mom, she was working at the University of Phoenix, and she's been working at home since the whole pandemic and everything, and they offered to let her come back to the office and work, and she's like, no, I'm good. She enjoys working at home.
So it's like they're under pressure to reopen from adults and kids both wanting to be with their friends and everybody. That's a serious social pressure. It can cause depression, that.
Yep, it's been pretty hard on everybody. Hopefully
they figure out a fix that preserves people's social structures without making them sick. That would be a miracle, wouldn't it?
It'd be nice. Well, yeah, people are taking it differently on all accounts. People now in social environments feel socially awkward, and I don't know. It really has stunted a lot of things as far as socializing and such.
Yeah, and Bill, I was going to ask you, do you have any upcoming events or anything that you're planning to do that you can share with the listeners?
I'll probably be doing some filming with a friend of mine, going over to Vancouver Island near the township of Duncan. There's an old abandoned Catholic church, and what has happened in the area, there's been a lot of stuff going on here in Canada lately with residential schools and finding bodies. It's really upset some people. So a fringe element in the Native community has taken upon themselves to set fires to Catholic churches on reserves, and it's sad because it's actually affecting Native people here that like to go to those churches. So you have that, but over there's a cross up on the mountain, and somebody, I don't know who, but they went and removed it.
Oh, wow.
Now, yeah, and they used an angle grinder to cut at the base of it because it's a metal cross, shall we say. And, they could have easily, with all the sparks flying, they could have set forest fires with all the dry conditions.
Wow.
So we decide, it would be good at this time to do that church. I've been there before at this abandoned church. It's the Stone Butter Church, they call it. And the reason why that's got the name butter in it, it was actually a mission there a long time ago. And they produced butter and they sold it to the township, to the people there. So, yeah, eventually people left, mysteriously left the church, and they built a wooden structure for their church that exists today. So it was kind of a mystery why they left this stone structure, what at that time took a lot of effort to build.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
it's still standing today, got a wooden roof on it. Eventually, some people, they were going to turn it into a rec center because it is on native land and that, but that all fell apart. So it does have a concrete floor. So anyway, we decided, it would be nice to go and do some filming there again.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to that. We haven't set a date yet when we're actually going to do it. It might even be next month. Depends on certain aspects of each of our personal life. So, because a lot of times you end up finding lots of little things going on in between that. So,
That is interesting, though.
True.
Like you said, they just abandoned it. I wonder what exactly happened there to make them do that. That's pretty interesting.
Well, there's a mystery associated. That's what attracted me to go there and do a video anyway. And there's been people who have done videos there. So, but it certainly is interesting when you go to visit the structure there. It's very fascinating.
Yeah, and you were talking about the schools. From what I was aware of, they had done 2 so far, and the number of kids that they found buried and whatnot was astronomical. Have they been investigating other schools as well? Are they continuing on with all of them?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. They're using ground-penetrating radar to locate the bodies. Again, I mean, they have to actually dig down and do the forensic work, so that's going to take quite a while when they decide to do that.
Wow.
But I know there's one in Saskatchewan. They found a lot of bodies down there. They estimated around 800 or 800 to 900 bodies down there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're over 1,000 as far as like how many they found so far, and it's just the beginning.
Site, they found in
crazy.
British Columbia. So that was in Kamloops there. I mean, people have known for a long time that this did exist. It's just nobody actually took the effort to find out right away what was going on. So, and the records too were kind of kept in secret, with the church and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's a lot of mystery associated with it, but it's very tragic no matter how you look at it.
Wow.
Yes.
That's very interesting. That is very interesting.
I'm so grateful for the technology we have now, though. Like, had we not had that ground penetrating radar or whatnot, like, there'd still be a lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah, there's still going to be other graves they'll find on other locations. Some of these schools have been turned into resorts, and some of them being torn down. Who knows what their purpose is now, but still the bodies would still be on the grounds, shall we say. So
we're having the same issues down here. Several of the schools here are in use for other purposes, and they found bodies here too in the States.
What the heck?
Well, it's something that has happened. It's part of the history, both Canada and the United States. It's a dark part of our history, but I think it's time now to make amends and deal with the situation and try to come up with, some kind of aspects. It's going to be a multiple function type thing, what they're going to have to do, especially education in the schools about this, so kids will know in general what happened from the past. So I think by doing that, it's probably the best form of healing for everybody concerned.
Yeah,
Wow.
both countries celebrate Columbus Day and Thanksgiving, and those are two perfect times to teach our kids the right way to do things.
Yeah, we don't celebrate Columbus Day here anymore.
Yeah, well, I think what it needs to be is actual, in the school curriculum, if it's history or social studies, however you word it. But anyway, actual courses that, talked about the dark side of the histories of the past and that. So, I mean, the whole idea of these residential schools was to take the Indian out of these little kids, and it was very sad in how they did it. They mistreated them, didn't feed them very well, and they got sick, and a lot of them died, and they were abused along the way too, both physically and sexually. So it's very dark, no matter how you look at it.
That's how they treat people with my type of medical issues as well. Before the mid-70s, they took us away or put us in institutions.
Yeah, exactly. And it's this now, I mean, you look at the young kids now, when they hear about this, they're actually quite shocked.
Wow.
That this actually went on in our country. So the thing is now, it's time to make amends and better treat these people with dignity and so on.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, some people just forget the value of that. Respect each other and love each other. It's just that,
North America has a long, sordid history with marginalized populations. We have a lot to work to do, don't we, Bill?
Well, yeah, I mean, back then, Native people couldn't even vote. I mean, that took a long time. They had to sit in a bar, segregated, and all these little things that went on back then. So, yeah, we've come a little ways, shall we say, but there's still a lot more that we can do, at least now, to better educate the young so they know what happened in the past and the history and so on.
In more conservative provinces and states, they do various tricks to make it hard for indigenous and for disabled people to vote, even to register, requiring IDs and all that stuff. And it's very hard for some of the marginalized to have all the documents.
Well, yeah, I mean, they make it very difficult. You got to go through a number of steps to, actually be able to cast your vote in private there in the, this is the thing. I mean, we need...
And those requirements actually could expose your personal information to the government.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? So the thing is we got, we still got a long ways to go in some areas to have better equality for everybody concerned.
Yeah, and I find it interesting, like, they are taking down a lot of monuments and statues and such. The one that confused me was when they took down the Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea one. See, I understand the Civil War generals and all this other stuff going on, but why would they take down Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea? I mean, they just basically explored the United States, kind of discovering things. I can't think of what they could have done that would make them take that one down.
A lot of these pressure groups have professional historians. They know they look at the backstory in the memoirs of family members. I could go and research why. It could take me about a couple weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like on our Canada Day in Victoria, they took down Simon Fraser, who was a explorer, went down, now the Fraser River, named by his last name. And anyway, they took his statue and they took it down and they threw it in the harbor in Victoria. So they had to go out and get divers to retrieve it. So the thing is this is going to end up in a museum. Eventually some of these statues will be featured in museums, but with a big story about everything that's gone on. But, the political climate and so on has definitely changed very big time. That's one thing I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
North America, that's why I consider North America in many cases a single political entity, even though it's two countries. We're very much alike in the influencers and stuff like that. Same people.
Well, that's the thing.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the thing. I mean, last summer it was Lives Matter that was really in the big side of the news and everything. And yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of these Civil War monuments were torn down during that time period. So yeah, I mean, I mean, it's hard to understand history when it's so dark of the past, and it sometimes upsets some people in different ways. So the thing is now where we want to go and how we want to go about doing that is what we should really be asking ourselves. And what story do we want to tell the kids of the future?
And it's very true, Bill. We have a lot to work on, but I also know we should not take on the karma of our ancestors. We did not do what they did, but we can clean it up.
Yeah, learn from it for sure.
Yeah, it's a learning process. That's how we're going to have to treat it. There's no finger pointing, far as I'm concerned. It's a learning process.
So, just going back to this monkey bee virus, one of the things I was reading, it said most of these people that got infected were after they were bitten or scratched by a monkey, or when tissue or fluids from a monkey got on their skin, such as by needle stick or cut. But I guess in 1997, a researcher died from the bee virus infection after bodily fluid from an infected monkey splashed into her eye. Like, that's pretty crazy. But then there's this other one.
Be transmissible between humans the same way as chicken and smallpox can be.
Well, going on to that, there's this other one that is known as the monkeypox, and it's kind of like smallpox, and there's actually 200 people in 27 states that are being tracked with this.
Yeah, exactly.
There's an effective vaccine for it, though.
Yeah, but something like that, I mean, it could be very well, in a lab, be weaponized for future carnage, shall we say. And that's the sad part about all those kind of pathogens.
And it don't help that China has very unsanitary conditions in their labs.
Well, this actually came from Nigeria, this monkeypox. A guy that had gone to Nigeria had contracted it. But, people act surprised when, there's laboratories that are working on these infectious diseases. Every country, including the United States of America, has infectious diseases in storage that they have to use, in warlike times, or, like what's going on now in this country. I think it could be because we have surpassed the population that we were supposed to have, according to the Georgia Guidestones or whatever else is going on. I mean, there's so many different theories as to why this is happening. But I don't know, I kind of feel like they were testing it or working on it, it got out, and it spread a lot faster or more fluently than they expected it to. It kind of got out of hand.
It don't help in countries that have a history of poor sanitation, like China.
Well, something.
Monkeypox is a BSL-4 virus, like COVID-19, but they did a BSL-3 lab. You know how dangerous that is?
Very dangerous.
Yeah. What were you saying, Bill?
Oh, well, the thing is, they're using CRISPR technology basically to change, DNA sequencing and so on. So this is where it's really could, backfire and cause a lot of problems down the road. So.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
Risk.
Yeah, they're messing with the genetics of it and the DNA structures and stuff like that. And I mean, DARPA, they even publicly said they'd like to get rid of the coronavirus and its family, including COVID-19 and everything else. So, I mean, that's a broad statement, but at the same time, what could happen along the way if they try to do this is the question.
If you get rid of an entire species family, that could disrupt the ecosystem. That's not very smart.
No, something else will come along eventually and take its place. So, but I think along the way there could be a lot of problems by doing that.
And JoJo was saying in the chat room, China has also discovered almost 24 new viruses frozen in the ice, and there are so many things that are frozen that are being released in the ice that is melting that we have no clue about.
Oh yeah, ancient viruses and bacteria and stuff like that, pathogens. Yeah,
Wow.
that could really be scary too. I mean, these are, all potentially very dangerous, and if they start doing the genetic playing around stuff and the CRISPR technology.
Yeah, now if you have enough money, you can make your baby. Basically, they can pick the eye color, hair color, everything you want by messing with these genetics. It's pretty insane to me.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Did you see that stuff over there in Tokyo, Tess? That they're still doing it. They said that a lot of people on the first day they were disappointed. I guess because a lot of people weren't putting effort, and my mom says it's because of everything going on, and then if they won something, they would have to give them the trophy, and they would have to put it on themselves. It's not like to where the person get behind you and put it on no more. Everything's changed. Bad. So I'm just thinking to myself, it's just one thing after another. It's just never ending. I don't know. I'm just very skeptical of everything. But yeah, and I remember my friend. I haven't heard from him, but I was thinking about it and reaching out to him one day and say, Stefan, do you still apply to not wearing the mask? And I mean, not wearing the mask, not getting the shot, because he said don't get it. But he's very knowledgeable because he's got a lot of military connections. Just put it that way. I can't go into any further than that. He knows a lot of people, and he might even know. I don't know as far as it goes of the White House, but I did feel that he knew some people. I just didn't know how deep it got. So I thought I reached out to him. Maybe I should, and I'll get back to you on that because I was thinking about having him on the show too one day, but it's just that
that'd be awesome.
Well, it'd be interesting to hear his take on what's happening currently with COVID-19, monkeypox, and all these other pathogens.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, you guys, we do have to go to our first musical break. On this break, we have Fireline Kiss, who is a on-the-road trucker. Thank you so much for your service. Without you, we would not be eating right now. But he's written Your Eyes. We also have Cockroach from the UK with ICU, and Fred Johnson III with After Dark. If you guys aren't into this sort of music, just set your timer. For basically 13 minutes, we'll be back on. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this musical break.
Your eyes. Living at the door, I search lonely It doesn't matter what I say. No matter what I say. After
Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. Tonight we are joined by Mr. Bill Hauser, aka Can Dewey, as well as Psychic Chris Garcia, and then we also have Chris Mighty Man Wayne Fisher on the line as well. Welcome back, guys, and thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Hey.
And it's been
Been a great night.
interesting. Yeah, it's been very interesting. And now that you told me that, Bill, I want you to send me that link so I could look it up. But you can do it after the show. But
Yeah, I'll do that
Right.
after the show. It takes a bit of reading to understand it, but
yeah,
I'll send
But
it for you there, Chris.
yeah, but
It takes a lot of energy for an adult to manifest. There's mainly children that are able to do it.
yeah. And
Well,
anything-
Tulpas, what you guys were talking about, is basically like a thought form, right? You put enough thought or energy into this, and it creates an actual entity.
It's similar to a
What?
poltergeist.
Yes, correct.
Oh, right. Okay,
But
that's
it's
it.
more common than you can imagine, actually. So,
But the thing is that when you say that a person creates it, does that mean that the person can show itself or the entity can show itself too, or it varies?
I think it varies. It's a very complex type of phenomena, shall we say. Again, yeah, I'll send you some information about it. You can understand a little bit more.
Yeah, because there was two people that thought that it was one of a female demon, but the thing is that I don't like to go into that subject, but since I'm too close to the activity, it kind of like I just think of maybe it's just my imagination, but it only happens at night. But but the thing is that when I notice that it doesn't really, like I said, I don't got no scratches, I haven't been attacked. It's just
Well,
a weird.
you know
sensation.
something, Chris? Years ago, I was taught when you do paranormal investigations, you don't want to be part of the story, as one senior investigator told me. Basically, you want to be on the outside observing and documenting. So you don't want to be part of the story, he says. That's the way he described it. But
Yeah, I understand that, and
Yeah.
and it's true because I don't want to be involved in it. But I know that if people are intrigued, they're gonna be like, you know what, I want to go to Chris's house, and then I get a chance to meet him too. So, but the thing is that as far as now in the moment,
yeah,
I-
a lot of this goes back to what I emphasize a lot is protection, and you have to protect all the time and never let that go to the wayside. So that is probably your key to helping deal with any of these things if they come along a lot of times.
yeah, it is true, and it just makes me think. I try not to think about it so much, but I do put protection around me and around my space and around my home. So hopefully it stops, but it's been happening for quite some time. I can't say like a month or two. It's been happening for a while. I don't know when. I have to really think about it, maybe, and maybe I can just think on, when it started and when I noticed it, and yeah. But other than that, I've been fine. It's just little strange things here and there, and I'm thinking to myself, like how you said, Bill, you don't want to be the story, but then sometimes even the people that are gifted.
Well, yeah, exactly. You can still
They
have
don't-
things happen.
Yeah, and you can. And
We're
you can
kind of
do-
like lightning rods too. We also
Yeah.
attract stuff in, and the thing is, when we go on investigation, we bring our own energies there, and that can create a lot of strange occurrences and interact with the energies of that location. So you have that factor. So Yeah, I mean, or there's a lot of emotional buildup energy. So, again, those are very complex issues of, in the paranormal, but I have a good understanding of what it's about, and at the same time, how you can help yourself. Protection, I think, is the key on that. So,
Yeah, very interesting. And I think Tess was amused by it because she was like, "What's been going on with you?" And I'm like, "Tess, there's always been something around me. It's just strange how there's just more things occurring because before this didn't happen before. But I guess I've helped a lot of people and I've touched a lot of people's hearts. Even though I know I have a lot of friends that cannot stand me, which so you know where that goes. Where I had a lot of people from, I ain't gonna mention no names, but yeah. But I have noticed that I've gotten a lot more popularity, helping others, and I've seen that I've gone through a lot, and I was like to where I see things differently, and it's kind of like I don't let them get the best of me, and I'm still here. So it's like, okay, y'all can say
well,
what
yeah,
you
you
want.
said something really interesting. You see things differently. Yeah, I tend to look at things and perception slightly different than, say, the
Yeah,
average person does, and especially when the average person is confronted with paranormal activity, it kind of blows their mind away, shall we say. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, for me, it's different, my perception of that to the average person. So, yeah, it does happen. So,
yeah, it's very interesting. And like Tessa's been there for me a lot. She knows I've gone through BS, and but yeah, it's just now that I've noticed that. I've been just helping a lot of people. That comes with the territory, but you do need to. I guess I just gotta protect myself more because getting out there more. People are reaching out to me more. So it's kind of just like you, Bill. People reach out to you, and you just have to protect yourself. And of course, you don't want to be the story, but sometimes it happens. And maybe
yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
it happens, and then it comes to where, of course, my lovely Amy Allen. If it comes to things like that, that's when they come along and they do a walkthrough and they feel the energy. But hopefully, it doesn't lead to that. But yeah, there's a lot of things that when it comes to activity that if you cannot find anyone that you can trust and you go outside of the people that are known and see what they pick up and see because they know the activity, they've been around it for many years. And so, but yeah, there's just it just makes you think different, and perception's completely different. And I've seen perception for me had completely change. And everybody's been there for me, and they said, "Don't give up, Chris. Keep going." And I'm still here, so I'm happy.
Let your
And
haters be
I'm
your motivators.
exactly.
Yeah, we got a few of them along the way. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I just don't pay attention to a lot of those people. So,
they can hate you and think it just. Yeah, we've had a lot of haters, and I'm pretty sure Taz, you came across haters as you've grown, and that's just part of everyday life.
yeah, that's kind of like part of the territory, like you were saying. It just, like it happens, and not everybody sees it in their ways. They see it differently. So,
Yeah, but that as things go, and that's what I'm curious. I'm surprised nobody's called. It's been
Oh, well, we got
way too
Chris on
quiet.
the line, and I was kind of waiting for you guys to finish the conversation before we get into the nitty gritty of it, because we have had instances in the past where we have done the ghost box, and people have things show up at their house, or there's attacks, or whatever else going on. So it's very important, even though this is a podcast or a radio show or whatever you'd like to refer to it as, to use that protection while doing such things. Bill, what are some of your thoughts on how someone can protect themselves during a ghost box session, not only before but after as well?
well, they can look at the white light from head to foot as protection. That That's very easy imagery to do with yourself. Just visualize yourself with the white light from head to foot. So it's encompassing your whole body. And you could go to other colors like gold and silver and that. So those are another protecting colors as well. Again, protection is very individual. So it's what works for you. I mean, some people like incense, white sage, whatever, or crystals, but you got to be careful with some crystals because they can absorb the negative energy too, and so if you don't clean them properly, they can linger around. So
Very true. And I have to say, I love the way you say energy. I know you have this accent or something, just the way you pronounce it. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, okay. Well, it's what I think of the paranormal. It's all part of that energy and how we interact with it. So, and that energy can come from many different sources. So it could be sources from our thought forms or whatever. So, yeah, it could be a number of things. So,
and like you said, whatever you believe in or whatever you have faith in to protect yourself, do that. Say a little mantra or whatever you feel comfortable with is how you should protect yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Amen to that one.
And as my lovely assistant, Psychic Chris Garcia, said before, if you'd like to call in to the Ghost Box, just give us a call at 970-335-9596. That's 970-335-9596. Speaking of which, we have Chris, Mighty Man, Wayne Fisher, on the line. Chris, did you have a question for the Ghost Box?
Yes. As I've been getting got a specific name last time, and I've been getting dream experiences like visiting family afterwards. It seems like our living part of my ancestors are aware of me, so to speak. This is what happened to me when my birth mother was looking for me.
Okay.
When did that happen? Was that prior to her passing away or after she passed away?
Back in 1995, before she met me.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a home, so I had no resources to go and contact people like I really don't now. And a year or so later, they found me.
That's so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's
a great.
Thinking, and it's basically a similar dream sequence I'm seeing now of my ancestral kin over there in Europe. Since last month during the Ghost Box session.
Well, Christopher, every time I've done a session with you, you've also, you've experienced stuff after, through, like you say, through dreams and other forms. So, yeah,
This is so specific.
Yeah, that's the interesting part. I mean, it's more than just coincidence, shall we say? It's actually something more substance behind it.
It's more than the usual that I've been dealing with. So I wonder if that's the case.
Yeah. Well, we could do a session and just talk about you like in general forms. What your ancestors have anything in particular they have to say, because sometimes they will actually say things that that mean a lot to you, and you understand it more than other people listening in. So we could do that. Okay. How about if I turn it on?
Let's wind it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would like to talk to you guys out there. I have Christopher Fisher. He wants to know his ancestors. What kind of a message do they have for him? What kind of message do they have for Christopher? Is Christopher on the right track in life? Ancestors? You have something more specific that he needs to know? Is he on the right track? Possible. In what way?
Oh, wow.
I know Christopher does a lot of research on stuff. Do you encourage him to do more? You know, you can speak French. He'll understand. I always encourage you ancestors to speak French.
Hello.
What is Christopher and his thoughts? How does that affect him on a daily basis? Would you have insight to that, ancestors?
Percent.
So he's on the right track? On the right direction, other words? And do you have a special message for Christopher Fisher? You have a special message for him? Important information for Christopher Fisher? Ancestors, do you have something you need to tell him?
Oh, wow. Are the living interested in me? Wow.
What else do you need to tell Christopher Fisher?
Okay. Hi.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Ancestors, you have something of importance that he needs to know. Okay, do you have anything in final you need to tell Christopher Fisher?
Wow.
Okay, well, thank you. Goodbye. Okay, they were very chatty tonight, Christopher.
And even more specific than last time.
What did you pick up, Christopher?
They were telling me I was on the right track. And they even said hello twice, once in French and once in English.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I was seeing you say hello, Bill.
Yeah, I
Yes.
heard a hello and I heard a hi.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
That
Yeah.
this is like I'm able to talk to them in real time now.
Yeah, it seems that you're very connected each time we do these sessions.
It's getting better.
Yeah, definitely.
Bill and
And
Chris, what did you guys pick up?
it was weird after I asked about is the living now looking for me. That was interesting.
I heard sacred and then a few other words, but most of it was just positive stuff, the right path, and then they said hello. But yeah, there was just a few words I was listening because I was just tuning as much as I could hear, but I heard ones that stand out for me. So when I heard sacred, I was like, yeah, I think he's on the right path. He's very sacred and knowledge and everything that he's looking into. So I can't see anything that was negative that I would see from my
Nothing
perception.
bad from here either.
Yeah, so
I got, yeah, which one? That guy, naughty. Find me, the court, he will find, come. Philip, possible track, he is here, he was. Philip, Philip. There is
Woo!
dirt.
Wow.
God, hello, very nice, very, mama, I think it's good. What is that percent? He has, is no one back, he is true, glory time, track, it's kinda, oh wow. Georgie, they may be, secretly, move back, high, it's massive, we are them, or then, odd colored viper, Newport, weapon system, they can walk and there is not. Sandra got which one, if anything, it is possible, negative, fellow, hey, hello, nice, block, wood, percent, important, Nova, Kinsey, wow, those are both my kids. Made of wood, participation, fortune, high, that's it, and others. Hooray or hurry, on the job, think you're fucked.
It seems like that's the same thing that happened on my mother's side. It's like when they were joking around with me when they found me. You're screwed because you have a lot of family now.
Right. So what did you hear in mine
Oh
that
my God.
made you go, woo? Was it the Philip thing or?
The Philip and also which one? I heard that one too. Where I asked if the living was interested in me.
Mm-hmm.
And then find him and I will find them. It's like a two-way conversation.
Yeah.
It's like they know I'm here. That manifested.
It's pretty interesting. And yeah, Sandra
Wow,
heard
that's
both my
wild.
oldest daughter's names. I'm like, I didn't even hear those.
It's
Yeah.
wild, Bill, isn't it?
Yeah. About the Philip there, is there family members from the past that had the first name Philip?
Yeah, because he popped
That's
up 3 times.
on my
And then
mom's
Georgie.
side. That's on my mom's side. The Philip, that's in the Grimaldi's.
Oh,
What about
okay.
George or Georgie? Is that familiar at all?
That's my dad's that's my actual surname
Oh,
before
wow.
Really?
before the out of wedlock and before adoption.
That's interesting.
That
Wow.
would have been my surname if my dad was born in wedlock and if I wasn't adopted.
Very nice.
wow. Yeah, I did hear a few things, but I heard sacred and I can't remember the other word. But usually when I catch the words, I say them, so I don't have to write them down.
I
But
heard the
did
words, you are wonderful too. That was
hear,
interesting.
Oh.
so,
Well, there you go. That's a great message, Christopher.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That is.
so
It
very
is really, really specific. It was like a two-way conversation.
Yeah, there was a lot of conversations going on there, and it's so hard to
Between
I
me
can
and the
hear people
spirits, too.
talking, but I can't really sometimes hear what they're saying, you know, because they're saying it so fast or they're talking over each other or whatnot. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I wonder if we could do an experiment one time, just you and I.
And what would that be there?
Try like a conversational type method, see what happens.
Yeah, some people have done that. Can invoke different words being said out, but a lot of times you try to keep your sentences very short because it seems that works very well as well. So
I would like to try it with you one time outside the show.
Yeah, it's like, when you're on investigation and you're doing a walk around with the client, and what I do is I always have my digital recorder playing, and we're just generally talking back and forth. They're showing me different locations in the house and the property that are hot spots and so on. And a lot of times that's when you're going to get an EVP traditionally come through, more so than when you actually seek to do it, where you do the standard protocols of EVP. So that I find very interesting.
Yeah,
it seems
so I'll have
the
to get
social interaction with another person and conversation, that seems to be a real draw for spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like to get back with you sometime and see. I would like to try this experiment.
Yeah, well, it might just work.
It'll probably freak us both out, but I'm willing to see what happens.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing. It really is. And me, I don't really ask for spirit box that much, and I'm curious about doing them, but I just don't do them a lot. But I don't know if I have any questions. That's what I'm thinking about right now. That's when the only thing I could say is that maybe they can tell me with the bad thing. They're probably going to say that basic stuff, but I don't know. Can't really think of anything particular. I've always wondered to know if, what they see and with my career. And
we could ask some generalized questions like that, and maybe, is there any...
Because I don't ask a lot.
Chris, you can try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
well, we could do that.
Yeah, we can do that. And then, and see
we'll see where it
happens.
Takes us and the responses and that, and the questions that I'll format to, see where we're going to go with this communications, okay? So I'll turn it on, and we'll see how it goes.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah. Hello. I got Chris Garcia here. He can hear you. He wants to know, is he on the right track in life? Is he doing good? Is he doing good?
Complete. I heard complete.
Do you have a message for Chris Garcia? You must have a message for Chris Garcia. You have a message of importance that he needs to know.
They said my name. I heard that. Call people. I heard that.
Okay. Is Chris doing a good job in his work?
Yes.
That's good. Excellent.
That was a strong word. I didn't hear that one. Maybe I should get that.
Is there any spirits around him that may be, for any term, not helping him? That's attached right now?
Yeah, is there any spirits that are bad that I need to be aware of?
Are there any spirits around him That may be bad.
Regular. Regular.
Do you know who they are? Do you know their names? What's their names? You must tell me, okay? It's important. Chris needs to know. What do you know? You must be able to tell us.
He has a lot to say.
What do you know?
Name. Canada.
That's right.
Wow.
You know where I am, that's for sure.
Yeah, they do. Does my grandma have anything to say to me if you can hear me?
Does Chris Garcia's grandma have anything to say? A message? Chris wants to know, does his grandma have anything to say? Important message?
She loves you.
Oh, that's very nice. Does grandma have a message on, is Chris on the right track in life? Is he in the right direction in life?
Yeah, they're talking a lot. Wow. Computer.
What can you tell us? Okay, anything in final you want to say to Chris Garcia? That might be important. It's your chance. Okay, we thank you. Goodbye.
I heard a few words.
That was very interesting.
I know. I heard a few words I was trying to make out because they were talking so fast, like Tessa said. I just catch I hear a few phrases, but when they talk real fast, I'm just closing my eyes to try to black out the noise. If there's a little bit of noise in the background, so I just try to block it out. And there's just certain phrases that I hear, but they didn't mention anything of what the activity. I don't know what y'all got, but they did not mention bed, nothing. So I don't know what it could be. Maybe I have to find out for myself.
Yeah, well, those things sometimes take a while to really get to the bottom to understand. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They're speaking fast in some cases. So, it's always interesting. You can go back to the archives and just play that section and, see what you can hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
And I heard them help. He helps people, and I was like, yeah, I guess they do see what I do on the other side.
Well, they definitely know you're helping people in a very special way, Chris, so that they do know, and I think they're very happy that you're doing that.
And that's important to me. That's good, because it's good that you get support on the other side, because this support is different. It's more on the spiritual level. It's not like on the human level, because it could be jealousy in the human level. I mean, I do have friends I know that support me, and I do have my frenemies or enemies, is what I would call them. But other than that, I just know that I'm loved on the other side, so that's very important to me. And I just wanted to say thank you, Bill, for doing that, because I really don't ask very much for a spirit box. I barely even ask. But every once in a while, like maybe like a couple of months, I give it a. I don't like to do it like whenever we're on. I don't like to be to where Bill, I'm gonna ask this for about, and then another month. No, I like to skip to see if the energy is different, the same, or if they have more to say. And that's how I work, because it's with everything that I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Hmm.
It's always good to wait like maybe 6 months from now,
Yeah.
to see how, and that's how I do it.
Yeah, if it's got some connection from the last time you did it, or is it different? Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, and what did you get, Tess? Did you make out anything? Because they were talking fast.
I got a lot of stuff. I got TV. Hey, he can hear me. He is the white light, complete. Foreign, Catholic, coming. They're there.
That's true.
In America, can I see? You must be coming up. Yeah, Chris, Jacob, many people. The one. You will visit our belt. We are friends. The herbs are great. Static. There is God. Thank you. They are troubled. What I see, they are regular. Your Honor, twice. Geraldine, odds are up. How is it? No harm. Refined fellow, substantial, a
Mm-hmm.
lot to say. Eric Cooper, bitter, name, Canada, Britain,
Wow.
in your
They said
heart.
Eric. I know who Eric is. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's amazing. They said Eric Cooper. I know him too.
Yeah, I thought it sounded
Wow.
familiar. And isn't that the S4 guy?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
I've
He's
been on
from
the show
Washington
too.
State.
Yeah, I've been on the show too.
Yep,
Wow.
yep,
I
me too.
got in your heart, they would celibate, do your best. I am here, just do good. She loves you. Truer, Welsh, cleaning, focal, fever. Look at here, good food, be true. Number one, go big. And then Bill said thank you, and it said thank you back. Sandra
Wow.
got, I bet he can. Wife, look, he can. I'm good. Act, stop, Jacob. You got visitor. Busted, evil. Point, we have you. Existential, Canada, in your heart. None of your business. Painting, look at here. Food, glamour. He looked, meet over there, and visit.
Wow. So there is probably a visit. Then I do have something here, but it's that there. Yeah, and it goes back to what Bill said. So it's protection. So it's probably something that I'm doing and they're taking care of it. So that means that I'm protected. So thank you, Sandra and Tessa, for the messages. But there was a few words I could make out, but when they talk fast, I'm like, man, y'all need. So it's like, so thank you guys. I love the messages. And I know that I guess I must be doing good. And as long as I'm doing good and they appreciate my work, that means a lot. It really does. And man, wait, they were like really, really talking. So, and it goes back to what I said. I don't like doing the spirit box that much, only like every so often. Because I can't remember the last time I did a spirit box. Because the last time that we were on, I didn't do it that time. And then I must have done it maybe 3 months ago. So it's very effective the way I do it, because I don't like to do it. Like I skip maybe like 3 or 4 months or weeks, depending on what's going on, to see if there's something different. But other than that, thank you, Bill. I That just tells me that it's very effective. That I don't do it all the time, because they're probably the same thing, or so that means a lot to me. So
Well,
I guess I'm
yeah,
on.
I'm very
So
happy for you, Chris. You worked out like I did tonight.
yeah, and they really did talk a lot on you with you too, but I heard a lot of French on yours, so I couldn't make out what they were saying, but I knew that
I
they were.
did.
But but other than that, they were really talking on my end. I was, and he think my grandma talked Spanish, so maybe another time we'll skip a couple of months and then maybe see if they talk Spanish, because I do understand Spanish. So, but most of them were really talking English, so that's kind of good that I
You
have
know,
love with them.
Freaky, you and
What?
Tess and Bill did not know my biological father's naming.
Georgie.
George.
Mm-hmm.
And I never told anybody
Wow. Yeah,
that,
that's amazing.
I've been connected to this group at all.
Yeah.
That is insane. That I can believe they even said a name that I know, because I was on this show. I think last year, if I remember right, I was on Eric's show, and I know him. He's really cool. I connected with him. I guess everybody on that show, even Christopher called in on that show. I don't remember what month it was, but yes, I do know Eric, and that's just amazing that name came out. That's a big
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
before we started working with each other.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was way
yeah, that
before.
surprised me too. His name would pop up like that. So yeah, very interesting.
And what freaked me out even further.
Okay, what the heck just happened?
He's
Well,
like,
you
what freaked
know-
me out even further? Goodbye, Chris.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Eric Cooper is very connected too, psychically, shall we say, as well.
Mhm.
He's very connected too. So that was interesting. His name popped up like that. So, and I know Eric too, and I've been on his show and been involved with his conferences and that. So in the past, so he's a great guy. So.
Yeah, I've never met him. I actually came across his T-shirt when I was packing to come down here. I was like, whoa.
Wow, Christopher. I guess you couldn't say whatever you had to say.
Yeah, I'll go back to it. What freaked me out even further, word Philip is a common. There's a common ancestor to me in Prince Albert with that name.
Yeah, and that came up 3 times from what I heard and
it happened
reported.
last time too. The last box
Mm-hmm.
had the name Philip in the last session too.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's just amazing. So, I'm very, very clever, because I know that he was gifted too. I had a feeling that, but they're very good people, and maybe that might mean something later on. That maybe I might end up working with them,
Mm-hmm.
or you just never know with those type of messages.
And that's why I like
that you,
writing it down in the chat here, because then, like, when you go back to listen to the show, you can go back and look what people wrote down and stuff, and generally these won't get lost.
Yeah.
That means I need to concentrate on that name for further sessions.
Thank you, Tess. I appreciate that. So the next time when I go in the chat, where do I look at to see in case if I want to look at the words? It's in the chat room, or is it on
and
the...
it says it's at 2044.
Okay. I'll look at that. So if I can write the words and see if it resonates as I, with everything that's going on with me. So I appreciate that.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was funny that you were talking about the vibration on the bed and stuff like that, and on the weekends, like, I'd wake up and notice that, like, I just feel this major vibrating, and I'm like, what the heck, why am I shaking so bad? And then I realized it was the fan that was at the base of my bed that was causing the whole thing to basically vibrate. And I didn't notice it when I, would go to sleep and stuff, but when I woke up in the morning, I'm like, why am I shaking so bad? And then I realized it was the box fan.
Wow.
So I wonder...
So you debunked that, eh?
Yep.
Yeah. And now that you say that, I hope I can debunk mine, but maybe later on I'll find out what it is, because what Sandra said, it kind of says that there might be something lingering, but it's not to where I can't handle it. I guess it's more of just don't pay attention to it, but to be protective, and so...
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes if you give the energy of attention to it, it takes on a different form, and so yeah, I mean, that's important to know those kind of things.
Yeah, and especially in this field, oh my goodness, don't even go there with that. In this field, you need protection all the time. I don't.
So when you notice this, is it like right when you wake up, or does it happen for a while you are awake, or how exactly does it happen?
Well, I've noticed that when I'm asleep, Tess, it happens when I'm asleep, and then sometimes it's like, I want to say anywhere from 12 to maybe 3, 4 when it's dark. But it's not like I'll do it for a while. I really don't time it. Maybe I should, but maybe I'll tell you later on. But it's usually just like it does it for a little bit and then it stops, and then I don't. And then there's nights that I don't feel it, but there's days that it just gives me this weird small
Do you ever
sensation.
astral travel?
Honestly, that's beyond belief because I do feel like I astral project. I do a lot of that. I know astral travel now. I don't know how that would affect the bed, but that's something that maybe
It'll make you
onto
feel
the-
shaky.
Yeah.
So I don't. Maybe I'm leaving my body and I'm not even realizing it, and I don't know.
Yeah, and you just feel
Yeah.
that vibration. It's pretty
I might-
interesting.
I do it all the time, Chris.
So it might be something that I might consider what you said, Tess, because I'll give you some feedback later on, and I'll see if I catch myself astral projecting, and then I'll look down on my bed because I can see myself. So if I see myself, I will let you know because now you must be hitting on something that I'm not aware of because you know how I said I'm too close to the situation, so maybe you're picking that up empathically or psychically that you're feeling that there's something that I'm doing that I'm not even
Aware
like
of.
that that I'm subconsciously doing and I'm not even aware of it. So I don't know. That's something to consider.
This is great, Chris. This show is about you exceeding your comfort zone, and I hope you run with it, Chris.
I appreciate that, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Between me and you, Christopher, we went through a lot of shit together. Even though I hardly talk to you, but you know how I am. I keep myself. I needed to step away from everyone. You know that I wouldn't do no harm to you or anyone. So I know that you probably heard a lot of bullshit, but you know that I never had any conflict with you. You've always been a friend. And it's kind of like you were very understanding.
Pardon me.
And I think we both grown, from separating from what we left. And I actually can tell you the truth. I knew because there was people that were talking and they said that once I left, everyone was going to leave. And there was a lot of people that I heard that left right after. And then the ones that I didn't talk to, they were just doing their own thing. So I guess it took, I'm not saying that I'm giving all the credit to me, no, but I just think that once they saw that me and you left, it was like, they're done, So I think it was a learning process of dealing with that. And at the same time, it was hurtful because there was a lot of things that were said and I lost a lot of people and friends, but I still think of them, but I just don't call them. But, the way I see it is that the truth is going to come out, and everyone that knows what I've done, it kind of like overwrites what they said. So basically what I can tell you is that they made themselves look like a dumbass because we stuck together and we're still together. So, yeah.
That's right. Well, on that note, you guys, we do have to go to our second musical break. On this break, we have Fireline Kiss Again with Angel. We also have Cockroach with We Play House, as well as Fred Johnson III with Sugar. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this musical break.
Angel. Angel.
We play house. We play house. We play house. We play house.
Waiting here on this cold, lonely night without you. The tension's overbearing. Wondering, are you coming back home again? To inspire fondness with love. Where did our love go wrong? My sugar. Why did I make you cry? Whispers flow through my mind when I think about you. That warm feeling in me. My heart sings a sad song and just melts away. Please look into my eyes, my sugar. There's life in out there. my circus.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. Tonight we are joined by Mr. Bill Hauser, aka Can Dewey, and we also have Psychic Chris Garcia on, and we have Christopher Wayne Fisher on the line as well. Welcome back, guys, and thanks for hanging out with me tonight.
Awesome.
I have some good news for you guys, and I haven't been able to report this since I've been, when I was in Nutrioso, I had no cell phone service whatsoever. Luckily, my grandma had some Wi-Fi, so while I was at her place, I could use it, but going back up to the cabin, I was just kind of, lost from technology. But Dylan Redwine case, convicted. His father was found guilty on both counts. And then we have sentencing on October 8th, I believe. So finally, he's been convicted, and I don't know, a lot of people can move on with their lives as far as not having to worry about it anymore. And even his mom, she got really sick, and now she can, instead of focusing on this trial and his father being convicted and everything, she could focus on her health. So I'm just super excited. Like, so many lives have gotten better.
That's a big turn in the case.
It is. It took us 9 years to get to this point. It's been
now
crazy.
He'll put away.
Yeah, he's been in jail for like 5 years now, but yeah, now he's finally convicted. We know he's not going anywhere. We always knew he did it, and it makes me feel bad because innocent until proven guilty, but we just knew. And so I don't know.
And the great thing about life in prison is, people will soon forget about him. That that's the way it's supposed to be. He'll become obscure.
Yeah, and he won't be in county jail anymore. He's actually going to go to prison, and people don't like kid killers or people that assault kids.
And he'll no longer be center of attention. So that's what a life sentence does. It's basically a death sentence of its own.
Yeah, slow and ruthless. But yeah.
Yep, and you die of old age and everything that goes with it. Very cruel, don't you think?
Yeah, but here in this jail, they've had him segregated from everyone because I guess he got beat up a couple times or whatever. So they've been basically putting him aside where nobody can mess with him, and he's been protected. And I don't know what's going to happen when he moves to a new jail. He'll probably just be in population or whatnot. But
he's going to be afraid for his life every day until the day he croaks.
I'm just so grateful that the jury and everybody did such a epic job, and we actually got the guilty conviction. And like I said before, people can move on with their lives now. Like, his mom can focus on her health instead of this, and everything's looking up. Everything's looking good. I'm so excited.
He'll be dealing with the consequences of his crime for the rest of his life.
And I was so stressed out because I've been going to this court case, and when I couldn't make it because I had to watch my kids or whatnot, I was watching it on MeWe, and it was like, I think 20 minutes before they were supposed to come back with the verdict, and right about that time is when I went out of range. So I was just freaking out. I was like, man, I can't watch it. I can't find it. There's no way I can find out. And so it was just really stressing me out. But then a friend of mine had sent me a message. So once I got on Wi-Fi, they were able to send me that. And my Aunt Bonnie, I don't know what cell service she has, but she still had service, and she's the one that told me that they found him guilty on all counts. So it was just like, such a relief.
Jessica? With the death penalty, you only pay for the crime for the number of years that you're alive, like 20 years or so. Mm-hmm. Because he has life, he'll pay for the entire lifespan of his victim, which is sweet justice, isn't it?
Well, we're not sure what his sentencing is going to be until October. But yeah, it's just cool because, like, I would not even be here right now talking to you guys had this not happened. Dylan Redwine is where I found courage to come out of the paranormal closet and help people with paranormal issues, so on and so forth. And then I started doing the radio show for Dave, and then started doing this now. So I don't know. I'm just so grateful. You know, I think things happen for a
is far
reason.
better than a life sentence is far better than either the death penalty or a lower sentence, because you only served like 20 years.
Well, yeah, and they couldn't get the death penalty for him because they were afraid they wouldn't be able to prove premeditation. So they went with second-degree murder and child abuse resulting in death.
So that means that's actually good for you victims, because he'll have to serve out the entire natural lifespan instead of just because either with the death penalty or a non-capital case, you get out of jail with your life, or you get out of jail, you know, for parole either way. So he'll never get out. What do you think of that? Until the day God
I'm pretty
takes
sure
him.
I'm pretty sure they said that the maximum sentence he could get was either 45 or 48 years. So, yeah, he won't live past that.
Yeah, he's not going to have an early end to a sentence. God will take him out of there.
And moving on, back to the ghost box thing, we don't have any calls right now, but if anybody wants to call in, feel free to call 970-335-9596, or you could do like Sandra did here and leave your question or whatnot in the chat room. So Sandra does have something, if we want to reach out and see if we can find some answers for her. So she says, working on Ancestry, do my ancestors have anything to tell me?
Okay, and that's for Sandra Heath?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll turn it on. I have a question here. It's for Sandra Heath. Is there a message from ancestors, from her ancestors? There an important message from her ancestors. You let us know? There's something that Sandra needs to know from her past with her family lineage. There's something that she needs to know that her ancestors would tell. Ancestors, do you have a message for Sandra? What message does Sandra's ancestors have for her? You must have something that she needs to know. What can you tell us, ancestors? Sandra needs to know. She can hear us. What would you like to tell to Sandra? You must have an important message for her.
Not made to order.
What do you mean, made to order?
Go back in time.
Back in time.
Sure.
What would you like to tell Sandra? Okay, and final, what would you like to tell Sandra, Keith, ancestors? Okay, we thank you for communicating. Goodbye. Okay.
I don't know why, but it sounded like they were talking Puerto Rican or Puerto Rico.
I heard some French too.
Yeah.
I know. So they were talking different. And then I heard like inheritance. And then I heard going back in time. So I'm being told that, well, Sandra, I guess you're doing the right thing with ancestry. You're going to go back in time. And what I'm being told psychically, you're going to find out a lot more than what you can bargain for. So just know that when you do things, you're going to find out more about your heritage and where you come from.
I really
That's what
wish
I'm being
that she
told.
would call in because she told me a very interesting story about her family history already, and it's just mind-blowing what you can find.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
I got, hey, it's the worst. Quench, in frame, we are here, work, down to the boot, core, weight, high, check, wash, something to be said about this work. Good, back into it. Is it literal? We are here. Minion or onion, I don't know what it said. Then I heard a lot of French, which I took 3 years, but the only thing I understood was we. Yes. They did it all. It's easy. There's a few loved ones. Who knows? It's not easy. Not the book. Made to order. Whipstick. Going back in time. Jared. Bell Tower. The one. It's all right. It's up to you. Odd thing. It's so good to see Sandra. This work is good. There's a buzz. And I think it said they are 10, but I put they're 10. But they are 10. And Sandra got... Is it worth? No. Event de vue. Step. Where is she? Poland. Stand up. She booked. Music. Love her. Both. Action. About 7. Made to work. Steward. Jerry. Elk. It's you. And then she heard some foreign languages. She said French and some other language, which, Chris, you said you picked up on some Puerto Rican?
Yeah, it sounded like Puertorriqueño is what I heard, but it sounded like
Wouldn't that be a form of Spanish there, Chris?
yes. Yes, in a way it was a form of Spanish, but I couldn't make it out because that's pure Spanish.
Yeah, it's an old form of Spanish.
Yeah, I would imagine, yeah.
So they was talking from, like, I guess she has probably history with Puerto Rico or something like that. So there
or
might
Spain
be
itself.
Yeah, or she might have something with another country, like it could be Spain, or with something that has to do with pure Spanish that she's not aware of. So yeah.
Man, I wish you would call in. Sandra, call in and tell us your crazy story you told me about the whole murder suicide sort of thingy. It was crazy. And it's funny because a lot of families, especially back in the Great Depression, so on and so forth, like there was a lot of adoptions and different things like that going on. So sometimes it is really difficult to find your lineage and find, certain paths and stories and whatnot. And I don't know if you guys have been on Ancestry.com or what, but that stuff can get expensive.
Oh, believe me, it can. I'm on there.
I know when I first started out, it was like, oh, $30 for this amount of time, no worries. But then it was like $30 a month or something like that. I'm like, no way can I afford that.
And also, I paid for the DNA plus the health.
And one thing that I discovered, if you go to the LDS church or whatnot, they'll allow you to go in and use their computers and such to get on Ancestry. And there's another one that they do too. I can't remember what it's called, but you can do it all for free through their system.
Yeah, they use MyHeritage and also Ancestry.
Mm-hmm. Diecast in Racing said adoptions. Shit, they were downright stealing some babies outright under adopting, but that's another show. Pretty interesting. And that is hard work, but it's very rewarding at times as well, just depending on what you find.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But I hear like it goes back, and it just goes back to very interesting to me.
Yeah.
But but it's just weird how when I heard those foreign languages, I was like, she must have something.
Well, what's interesting is the bell tower.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm not too sure about, but I think that might have some interconnection to a few things.
Yeah, and Sandra also said that she has French on her mom's side.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Interesting.
That explains where the French is coming from.
Uh-huh. So, what were you picking up on the bell tower? What were your thoughts on that, Bill?
Well, it definitely said the word bell tower. Again, I don't know anything about the bell tower, but I mean, it may have some connection to her lineage, family lineage there.
Mm-hmm. Pretty interesting.
Interesting.
Oh, she said her great-grandmother was defending her daughter and they were both killed. So, I believe that her great-grandfather, they would work out in the mountains or whatever. I think they were cutting wood, but they might have been hunting. I can't remember exactly what she said. But one of the guys, as the other guys left to do their work, he came into the house, tried to drag the daughter out of the house, and then the mother came out and tried to stop him, and that's when he killed the mother and the daughter. And she said that her grandmother was 9 at the time, and she said they were trappers. So they weren't lumberjacks, they were trappers. So they went out trapping, and this guy stayed behind and tried to do some not so nice things and ended up... Oh yeah, she said, okay, so her great-grandmother was sister to this girl. This girl was 16 when this guy tried to abduct her.
Wow.
But the mom wasn't having it, so both the mom and the daughter died, but her great-grandmother had to, or her grandmother had to go and testify at trial, I think. Pretty crazy what you find.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like very interesting when you find out a lot about things, and like I think all of them were very interesting. I think that a lot of them were interacting, so it's very active tonight. So it's very good, very good. Get a lot of good responses, and
isn't it a full moon tonight?
Yes,
no, that was on Friday night.
Was it?
Yeah.
So it's awaiting Gibeus.
Well, we're still in that. We're basically still in the cycle.
Yeah.
It lingers around.
Yeah, and that's why what I was gonna say is, I know you're gonna laugh at me, but when the full moon comes out, that's when all the wolves start howling. All the wolves start howling because But yeah, it's just when all that activity increases 10 times more. You're always profound to find something. If it's even if you're an alien person, or if you're a Bigfoot person, or just spirit box, or just even psychic medium, I think during all this time the intensity it's very intense during the full moon. Spells, witchcraft, voodoo, you name it. It's very intense during this time of
Oh,
full moon.
Sandra
Did
just
I say
said
that?
BTO was Puerto Rican.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I remember when he's
Wow.
like, I bet you can't guess my name, and I guessed it first time. Starts with a C.
Interesting. Thank you, Sandra, for sharing that. You know what? That's funny you said that, because I remember that show that we did on his birthday, and it was dedicated. Um, but yeah, it was. I remember that day, and I didn't even know that day. And then you said, Sandra's telling me to tell you. Um, um, she goes, you're picking a day on his birthday. And I'm like, I didn't know that, but I had already marked it down. And since I was close to him, because I remember he would always pick on me because I would always like get sleepy, and then he would put his hands together like, it's time for you to go to bed, Chris.
Yeah, he'd put his hands
Yeah,
together and lay his head on his hands.
but he always did that to me because me and him, we had a good connection, even though I didn't talk to him as much. But I think he felt very drawn to me, and he would make me laugh, and I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I think he connected with people in a different way. Everybody was different.
Hmm.
So yeah, so thank you, Sandra, for that validation, because maybe there must be a connection that that you felt with him, and then for me to pick up Puerto Rican, that just validated that. So that's very interesting.
For sure. And we were all very close with BTO. I miss him so much still, but it's funny. I saw him shortly after he passed, and Sandra saw him too. And yeah, he was wearing a yellow sweatshirt and I think like maroon colored sweatpants. I couldn't tell what color the sweatpants were. It was too dark, but Sandra just said Soul Family, I think. But yeah, I saw him. The only reason I got up out of bed is because I heard somebody turn off or turn on my nephew's light, and nobody was supposed to be in that room because he was off visiting, and he was very, he didn't want people messing with his stuff. And I told the kids not to go in there, and I heard somebody turn on or off his light, so I jumped out of bed and I ran out of my room, and I see BTO closing the door and then basically doing a right face and walking quickly into the living room. And I looked in the living room, the dining room, the kitchen. I even looked out on the front porch like, who the hell was that? Because I had always imagined him shorter than he was. And then when I explained it to Sandra and told her what I saw and like how tall he was and everything, she's like, that was BTO. I was like, oh my gosh. And then when she's seen him, she said she saw him in the form of a kid, a little cute kid a bit. But yeah, he was just gone before his time, really. But his
Yeah,
perspective was very interesting, and he always felt like nobody really understood him or wanted to even hear it. He just kind of felt like he was wasting his breath. But I always enjoyed hearing his
yeah, exactly.
perspective about how the soul is shattered or fractured like a piece of glass, and then you have to gather all the pieces throughout life or whatnot. But he was totally against going to the light. That's for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's funny that you say that, because now that he's on the other side, he gets a taste of interacting, and I'm pretty sure he people miss him more than when he was alive, and that's sad, and it's sad to say that, because I think when we don't visit our loved ones, you need to visit them, because when they're gone, you don't want to have that self conscience that you didn't take care of them, or you didn't see them, or you didn't acknowledge them. And when you go to the funeral, that's when you acknowledge them. And then when you see them go down the casket, or however you want to do it, that's when they're more appreciated. And to me, I mean, I know that's part of life that we got to cross over, but some people are just so so ungrateful of the living, and then when they're dead, they appreciate them more. But I'm like, it's too late to tell them I'm sorry, or it's too late to tell them that. Tell them while they are living, and that's a good thing with him is that he taught me a lot. You know, even though, like I said, he didn't really talk much, but I perceived him as very quiet and very mysterious, and I thought that's just like that. That was like me. You know, I wasn't really talkative, but then when I looked at people, even though I didn't do this subconsciously, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. Everyone that was in that chat, I was reading every single one of them. You know, so it was always, even though sometimes I don't even catch myself doing it, but in some chats, most chats, I always read people like, and people are just looking at me like the way I move my head to the side, or if I just do a certain gesture. I think if the person knows me well enough, they know that I'm reading the energy of the person.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I'm not supposed to do that, but sometimes it just, to me, I don't shut it off. So it's kind of like, it's something that I do, even on a daily basis. When I go to the store, you know, you should see the looks I get. And it's funny that mentioning that, because when I get looks with my t-shirts, you should get to see the looks I get, because they look at me like they just walk away. And then others, I feel like they're intrigued to come up to me, but they can't because of the COVID stuff. So they just look and stare, and then they just walk away. I've gotten some looks, and I've told people, when you get t-shirts or a mug or something for me, you know, I like to know the feedback on, like, every state's different. There's more states that are more receptive to psychics or mediums, so you get different looks when you're in different states. If it's more like Louisiana, they're gonna come up to you because they're into that shit. But depending the further areas you go, there's a lot of people that are just don't believe in that crap. So
I thought it was interesting because when you sent me the koozies and stuff like that, like I would take them around, and people that I thought would be like, heck yeah, I want a free psychic reading with this koozie and pin and sticker combo. And the ones that I thought would be like all over it were like, no, that's okay, I'm good. And then ones that I never thought would be interested were like, heck yeah, I want it. And so I don't know if you've gotten any phone calls or anything from that, but there was people,
yes.
like, I only gave it to people that actually wanted it, you know. I wasn't going to be like,
Yeah.
here, just take it. But yeah, it was just like kind of mind-blowing to me who took it and who didn't, and how we perceive people a certain way, but once you bring something up to them, they're like, not me, honey boo boo. I don't know. It was just kind of interesting the way that worked out.
Yeah, and it is, and you see it now. You see what it feels like to be in my shoes. If you wear my t-shirt, you know that in some states they just don't believe in that kind of stuff, you know. And then there's
Well,
some
I
of
got
them that they give you.
a lot of looks when I was wearing that T-shirt you gave me, but I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
I
because of
know.
what it said or because it looked like your hands were holding my boobs.
I think it's a little bit of both, Tess. I
Right?
think that they know, they're thinking, damn, those hands must be lucky to be there. Especially for the girls, they're thinking, ooh, whose shirt is that? You must be touching their boobs. So
It's funny.
yeah, it just makes you think about that kind of shit, because you're just like, who's reading by Chris?
Who is this
And then
guy?
I know, right? I could
Look
just
at the size of
imagine if
those
it's a.
hands. Just kidding.
Tessa, you are so funny. Oh
I know,
my
but
god.
you know, looks aren't everything, so.
Yeah, but it's true though, because I mean, even, you know what's crazy? I've seen so much advertisement, and it's kind of like, put it, it's kind of weird, because nowadays they show different advertisement where it's like a metal. It's got a cart and it's got everything in there, and they're like, and they've seen it. I've seen it on different, I don't know what apps, but I saw them, and they're like, you could throw those business cards away. This card does it all, and I'm looking at it like, what's the damn difference about that shit?
Does it do a
So
little
I
song and
think
dance or what?
I don't know what it does to us, to be honest with you. I really don't know, but to me, I feel like a lot of people don't think this, but business cards, shit, that was back in the old days. But business cards are coming back because
Mm-hmm.
business cards have always been good advertisement. I would think, but nowadays I've heard different people like, why would you get business cards when you can get this? And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, you must not be from the century because business cards are very popular. That's when it would start, first start, and then you get pins, flashlights. Yeah, so there's just different beliefs and different ways of advertisement. But I think the best advertisement, besides T-shirts, is the word of mouth. That's the best advertisement anyone can get when it comes to looking for a spirit, psychic, or someone like you. It's the best. The word of mouth is the best. And even radio shows. Thank you, Tessa.
You're welcome.
I like the way you said that. How do you do it, Tessa? How do you say it?
You're welcome.
See, you've been practicing like the way I used to talk. I used to do that a lot on lives, and I'm like, "Hello, everybody." And then every time they were like, "Chris, you need to stop doing that because then your throat starts hurting." And I'm like, "Don't worry, I'll be fine. I'll just take some aspirin. I'll be fine the next day."
Like, it's all
And
good.
Bill's thinking, Bill's thinking, "Damn, what are these crazy people talking about?"
I don't know about you. Go ahead.
Well, I'd have to say the business card is a very good way. I look at business cards more like contact cards. If I'm really somewhat interested in something that someone's doing business-wise or a service, yeah, the business card is something I would keep.
Mm-hmm.
The pamphlet, well, pamphlets are popular here, but the business card is always good because at least you got contact information there.
Yeah, and it's cheaper too.
Yeah,
I've
got
ordered so many-
websites on there, emails, phone numbers to get a hold of that person.
Vistaprint's got the best deals, I think, on business cards. That's who I go through.
And that's what I go to. So I'm be like, Visa print, whoo, 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 whoo. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, a lot of printing shops give you a pretty good price on 500 business cards or, 1,000 or whatever. And sometimes I'll help lay it out, the graphics so it looks really good when it's finally printed off. So, yeah.
Now that you talk about business cards, Bill, what do you think about cards with your face and you can face part of your face on the card and put all the information? Do you think that you shouldn't put that on there because they're going to contact you and see you, or do you think it's not good advertisement to put your face?
I think it's good because it makes people see you and be like, "Hey, this is Chris Garcia."
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
If you would want to do that, that's good.
Yeah, but you're right. I think the first is the business card number one. The second thing is that's good. I think it's pins. The people always use pins. And then as far as t-shirts, you can wear them. Flashlights, koozies, they're okay, but you just after you drink what you do, you put them up. Unless you're gonna keep using the koozie, you can always have it up. But I think the most effective is the pins, the business cards, t-shirts, and flashlights. Those are the things that I would think, and lanyards too, depending if you're in a hospital. But lanyards too. But it really varies on each person what's I guess more effective for them. But like Daryl says, I think if you want to be old school, there's nothing wrong with old school. Go with the damn business
I feel
cards.
like if it wasn't for a lanyard, which came from the job thing that they do for kids in high school, and they'll have like a little job fair thing going on, and of course the military goes there and they set up their booth, and then the kids walk around. And so my daughter came home with an Army one. Had it not been for that Army lanyard, my daughter at the age of 1 wouldn't have been tying it around her leg, and she would not, I don't think, would have ever told me about her past life sort of experiences. So I don't know. I think they're all good. A lanyard actually broke the key off in my car.
Yeah.
How did that happen, Tess?
Well, I was doing security at the fairgrounds, and I stopped by Domino's Pizza really quick to pick up a carry-out pizza, which is $7.99. Can't beat that with a stick. So as I'm turning in from Florida Road, it's Florida Road, but they call it Florida Road, and I'm turning into the Domino's Pizza, and my lanyard like wrapped around my steering wheel column and
Oh.
broke the key off in my keyhole. So I can still
boy.
start it, like when my car was still running, I could start it with just that portion of a key in the keyhole because the other portion was already stuck in there. But yeah,
Wow.
that was
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, luckily I was turning into a parking lot and not into traffic or something because my car did die when that happened. It was weird.
Yeah.
Wow. That is
Were you able to
insane.
get it fixed?
No, I just keep using the broken key when I still drove my car, but it's been broken down for a while. It's got transmission
what?
issues.
You know what? Speaking of that, I know one of my friends is listening. The last time she was like, "Man, Chris, I have a key, but I don't have the lanyard." She goes, "Hook me up with that, because I always have to put it in my pocket." I'm like, "Yeah, that's good for your keys especially when you don't have no pocket. Say like you don't have a pocket and put it on your neck and you have the key to your house. I mean, without a lanyard, it's you just never know. Because sometimes the pants can have pockets and it goes whoop, and then you could lose it and you're like, where the hell did my key go? And you're just like, well, oh, it's right here on my neck, dummy. So, so yeah, lanyards are very, very good. And I think the medical people use lanyards. I think it's more where you see those kind of things. But a lot of that stuff
Yeah.
coming back, a lot of that stuff. And like me and Tessa, we go the old-fashioned way. Business cards. Woo, 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 woo.
I brought so many business cards with me on this trip, and it's weird. Like, we were talking about being socially awkward and how the whole COVID pandemic has, like, if you were socially awkward before, just look at you now. So I'm at a family event where, like, I'm comfortable with my family, but there's my grandma Jean's family, and I'm really close with her niece, I think it is. But everyone else, like, I didn't know them, and it was just, like, so awkward. It just felt like our families were so kind of separated and doing their own things, and I don't know. I did give out some business cards to Stephanie, I think her name was. Because she's like, hey, do you have any more of those business cards? Because my friend said how they saw you on TV or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what channel was that on? No. But I was like, here you go, here's some more business cards. So I gave those to her, but I still have like a whole stack that I meant to give them out to everyone, even my aunties and stuff. Like, here's my radio show, here's my phone number, if you ever need to contact me or whatnot. But I still have them because, like, I don't know, time just passes and there's other things that I feel like are more important during that time.
Yeah.
But then there was the whole weird, like, social awkwardness. And even in pictures, you could see it, like, the way different people are looking at other people during these pictures. It's just kind of weird. I don't know.
Everything's different. Everything's changed. Like what's funny that you talk about that? Because people would ask me, and I still believe this to this day. They're like, Chris, are we ever gonna go back to the normal? And I'm like, I was like, really? You really want to know the answer? And I said, we are in the normal. And they're like, what does that mean? I said,
It's the new normal.
Yeah.
This is the new world that we live in. And people are like, are we ever going to wear, where we can just walk out without wearing a mask and being frightened that we're going to get COVID or something like that? And I tell them, as far as I'm concerned, I'm being told we're never going to have that feeling of being safe. People that might not say it up front in your face, but I think a lot of people will never see it normal again where people can just hug each other ever again. It's going to always be the elbow or the knuckle.
I still hug people. I'm a rebel, and try to keep me from hugging you. I've been seeing people do that elbow bump thing, and I'm just like, I don't know. I just hug people.
But I mean, we take the chance, and no matter how you say it, I think life is gonna take you either way. Hopefully, it's a good way. You're not in pain, but I think no matter how you look at it, if you don't care about the COVID and you're gonna die anyway, just enjoy it and just don't even think about it. And, because we're all gonna go sometime. But I
Ain't
think
none of us getting out of here alive. You know that.
Oh yes, I know. With all this crap, it makes you think. And then people have asked me, they're like, how do you feel that COVID has, even though it's killed a lot of people, but do you feel like it's helped a lot of podcasts to be more popular? And I'm like, yeah, I think when it comes to shows like this, it's brought more attention to the people that have always had the shows that they were like, who the hell is paranormal media? And, they don't know. But then when they start on Facebook and stuff like that, that's how me and Bill and, that's how we're found, because they didn't know these shows existed before. But I think it's brought other shows that, have been on for many years that no one knew about them, and now they're like, okay, you know what? Let me contact Tessa, or let me contact Bill, or let me contact Psychic Chris. I think it's brought more public
Awareness.
Awareness, yes, and it's brought us more advertisement in some kind of way. I don't know what Bill has to say on that, but I think it's helped more people to come out and looking for shows like this. What is
Yeah, I
your
would agree.
feeling on?
Yeah, I would agree. I think, too, it's also the pandemic, is people are looking inwards to themselves, and so shows like yours, Tessa, other podcasts, they dealing with subjects they've always thought about, or personal matters, that where psychics could be useful and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's changed a lot on people, and it's what their comfort levels are too when they greet you out there in public too. So, do the elbow thing, or just say hi, or just a gesture. Sometimes it varies from person to person, I find.
Yeah, that is true. Me, that's funny that you say that, because I'm a hugger too, but I'm just not taking that chance, I mean, I'll hug people like my cousins because I know they're
I
careful.
hug my family. I don't hug everybody, but when it comes to my family, I'm not
No.
going to elbow bump you. I'm going to give you a hug.
I'd like to sometimes.
Right? Right in the noggin.
No, I'm just joking. But anyway, I mean, it's...
But I think it's changed a
I
lot.
don't think Bill's got a violent bone in his body.
I think it's helped with social networking. I think it's brought more awareness and more exposure to all of us that are in the field. The only thing is that it's on the downside is that I've noticed more competitiveness, and I feel like we all need to be united, because people forgot the meaning of that.
Para-unity! It's not called para-backbiting. Come on, people, let's work together.
I know exactly. See, Tessa's on the same page as me. So,
yep, I am picking up what you're putting down.
So I feel like that's the only thing that's on the downside. But I think if we stick together, I think we can make a difference and stop saying, oh, you know what, I'm going to be better than her, or I want to be better than him. No.
We're better together. We're better together.
Yeah.
Well, it's uniting. That's very important in some cases.
And
for
I
sure.
like the way Tessa thinks.
Well, Chris and Bill, we are at the last 4 minutes of our time. Chris, where can our listeners reach out to you or find you to get a psychic reading or get advice or just say hello?
They can reach me at Chris Psychic Garcia on Facebook, or they can reach me at 210-974-3470, 210-974-3470, or Garcia187bluelove@gmail.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Garcia_79. I'm also on Twitter, but I can't think of the damn name. But yeah, you can find me on all those other platforms. But thank you, Tessa, as always. Okay.
Well, thank you for being my lovely assistant this evening.
You're welcome.
Awesome, Chris.
Thank
good.
you.
And how can they contact you, Bill?
Well, I haven't been doing a lot of personal sessions for people because I've been kind of busy with personal matters, as well as now, since we're in basically the third level of pandemic restrictions, I'm able to get out and go to people's homes and businesses and that as investigating. So, but if they want to see me online, YouTube, I'm on YouTube under Can Dewey and William Hauser, and just put in Google and put in my name, Bill Hauser, aka Can Dewey, and you'll get a lot of stuff coming up on what I do. So that's basically what's happening with me right now.
Very nice. All right. And if you guys are interested, Bill did send me, or shall I say William, he sent me a video that he had done just recently, and I did post that on our We Are Paradox Media Facebook page. So if you guys want to check that out, go on over to our Facebook page and check out his video. Could you explain to our listeners a little bit about what this video entails?
Well, it's actually not a video. It's just a highlight off of a video that I got the audio off of, and it's a intelligent response to a question I was asking in Cumberland. Basically, I was asking about the Dunsmuir family, and I got a very strong reply back, and it was a very intelligent response. So that's what you look for a lot of times when you're doing ghost box sessions, is the intelligent response.
Very nice. And I may be sharing your UFO pictures as well, if you're okay with that. And I might post
you
mine
can put
too.
them up on you can put them up on your Facebook group. Then no problem with that. Again, a lot of those were very spontaneous. They just happened. So I was there. I grabbed my camera from my cell phone and snapped photos. So that's what happened. So yeah, it was very interesting.
I just want to thank you, Bill and Chris and Christopher as well, because he's been hanging out with us the whole time. Thank you guys again for being on.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
We Are Paradox
Well,
Media's Late
you.
Night in the Rockies.
Yep.
It's been awesome having you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And thank you to all of our friends on We Are Paradox Media's Facebook, Spreaker, Twitter, Periscope, iHeartRadio, and wherever else beyond the Omniverse you've been listening tonight. I had a wonderful time, and I can't wait to do it again. Next weekend, Saturday the 31st, we have Mr. Psychic Chris Garcia on. He's going to be doing free psychic readings. We also have the Paradox Paranormal Forum on Sunday. We usually do them on Saturdays, but we kind of switched it up. You guys, we're all in this together. Together we can make the world a little better.